Hi, and welcome back to Transform Your Impact. My name is Alexa Henderson, and we are speaking with entrepreneurs, creatives, and thought leaders about the things that have moved them forward in their career, brought them success, and made them money. And today we have a very accomplished entrepreneur with us. Her name is Olenka Cullinan. She's a speaker, the founder of I Start First and Bossbabes. She's an Amazon best-selling author and a millennial success coach. So I'm very excited to have you on the show today. Thank you for being here, Olenka.
Thank you for having me, Alexa. It sounds like an amazing project, and I am really excited to be a part of it.
Oh, thank you so much. Awesome. Well, I'd love to just dive in and talk about, you're up to a lot of different things. I'd love to speak about some of the important things that you're up to and what you're most excited about right now.
Definitely, yeah. Isn't that the same for every entrepreneur we probably talk to? We're all always, played in multiple playgrounds or courts or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I'm definitely excited about the I Start First and the development of that company for me. It primarily focuses on three things. I work with millennial and professional women, hence the Boss Babes, to inspire them to up-level their success level, their mindset, their business ideas, or their business in general. And right now we're focusing on boot camps online because it allows us for that global access. So any woman anywhere in the world can join this. And just like we do with, just like we do with coaching and going to the gym and dieting, I thought what would be the next best thing is to allow women to do the same thing for their mindset and their success level. And then obviously speaking is amazing. I get to go into rooms full of incredible, mind-blowing, talented, passionate, bright women and inspire them to go do and be more. And the event is fairly new, and it's I Start First Summit, where we get together in person for a day and just be girls. Do
Fun.
everything that excites women, talk about all areas from relationship to business. But there's so much, that as a woman, there's so much more that goes into your business than just business, right? It's your relationships, it's your support system, it's your friends, it's your body, image, it's your attitude, it's your spirit. So I really wanted to create an event like this where it's a safe space for women to come in and be raw and real and have those vulnerable, authentic conversations. So yeah, it's been a definitely great start to 2019.
Wow, wow. Will you tell us a little bit about how I Start got started?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it was a very interesting experience even for me because, as you can tell from my accent, I'm not from Texas. I was born and raised in Russia with a mother who was a diehard entrepreneur. So I learned very early on what entrepreneurship was about. But I borrowed $450 from my uncle, and then in the process of the journey, moved to the US, went through a lot of transformations myself, and being in that business world realized that that ratio of 90% men to 10% women is very real. And I thought, how can we change that? And what am I going to do about this? And sort of started it as a hashtag. I Start First, because I truly believe that whatever change you want to see in the world, you need to become it. And it started as a hashtag, and I started speaking to women audiences, and more of them would reach out and say, well, what else? What is I Start First? And I didn't really have a clear idea, and it evolved very naturally. It was very much propelled by women, what they needed, and they wanted to have, sort of the coaching and the group environment. So that's how boot camps got started. And then they wanted to see each other in person, and that's how event was born. And just, continuing to evolve in that path, I sort of allow it to grow with the tribe and with the women and their needs to really truly cater to them and take them to the next level.
Oh, that's so cool. So it sounds like you had some level of vision, but you weren't totally clear on what it was. So it sounds like it was very service-based, how it all came together.
Absolutely. And I'm not afraid to say that because I do think that a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we get to that perfection paralysis. And we feel that until we perfectly have every step mapped out clearly, we can't go and take something to the next level. And
Mm.
this is where this was a complete opposite project, right? It started with a hashtag, not really knowing what I want to do with it besides the service that I want to provide and the audience I want to cater to. And that's truly how all the hows came to be together, because I just didn't put very much thought into the how. And I want to be, that's why honestly, I hope this inspires a lot of people to go and do that, you know, figure out your purpose, figure out who you want to serve, and then the house will sort of start taking care of themselves.
Oh, that's so awesome. So did you know right away that who your audience was and who inspired you, or how did that evolve?
Honestly, I did not. And my first company that I built was Rising Tycoons, where we were catering. I mean, my mission was not very different. I was catering to teens and teaching them how to start and scale their businesses. And I knew that that's the part I like, and that's the part I'm really good at. I'm good at seeing people and believe in people more than they believe in themselves at the beginning. And in the process of that, I saw that there were not a lot of girls in the projects. And then I started working with university students and pretty much saw exactly the same pattern, where we had a lot more guys than girls, you know, generating ideas and taking them to business level. And then I started working with more professional women and saw that same trend, where a lot of times this brilliant, smart, incredible women would hold back when they were, you know, comparing themselves to men or playing in the same arena as men. And that's why I thought, you know, how can I make this better? And honestly, I had a very fair part of hesitation doing this, because I grew up sort of 50% tomboy with my brother. I was in a business world where it was very male dominated. So I didn't necessarily know what it's like to have a tribe of women. So it has been an incredible learning experience and transformative experience for me too, is truly appreciating and seeing the value in the most incredible tribe of women, and all of them working together towards something.
Oh, that's so cool. It's very inspiring. So when is your summit that you're having?
So the summit is April 12th, and it is in Phoenix, Arizona. It's, like I said, it's a one-day conference. Everything is hands-on. We cover all variety of topics, everything that, you know, makes you a better woman. We lovingly call the tribe the Sparkle Tribe, because we feel that every girl has that sparkle inside of her, and every woman just needs to deliver it outwards. So yeah, the next event is going to be April 12th, and then the next boot camp starts March 1st, and then the one after is going to be in May. They
That's so
run for
cool.
30 days online.
Very cool. I love it. Awesome. So will you tell us about, because you're also an Amazon bestselling author, will you tell us about the experience of, you've got your book, and will you just tell us a bit about that?
Definitely. Yeah. I have two books out now. The first one was all for female audience. It's called Passionistas, Tips, Sales, and Twitterbles for Women Pursuing Their Dreams. And it was millennial women coming together, sharing our stories of how we build our company and sort of went through our own journeys. It's been honestly an amazing experience. That's again where you realize that power of audience and power of community, because you get to deliver your message to so many people at once. And Amazon being a great platform that they are, you just have opportunity to work with, so, you know, come across and share your message with so many people, and it becomes probably your best marketing tool. So I always tell people, if you're toying with the idea of having a book, definitely do it, because it's probably your best marketing campaign you'll ever have. And yes, it is, you know, work. Like any other project you take on, you have to be willing to get very clear on your message. You have to be willing to meet deadlines when you write in your book. If you're co-authoring, like it was in my case, I had other authors, so we tried to make sure, you know, we communicated and coordinated and made things work and, you know, jive very well together. But yes, I think books are great passion projects, but you also need to understand the amount of work that goes into that. And having that credibility behind you obviously is a huge help, whether you're trying to speak or build your business or expand your clientele. Having the credibility of being a published author is absolutely great, and definitely adds to, you know, your list of accolades.
Awesome. How long did it take you to write it and put it together?
Well, the ones that I co-authored, I had a chapter in each, but it still was about a 4-month process, because first you sort of just go for your general ideas. And I would say it's all, I mean, I don't want to say it's harder than writing the whole book, but it's definitely not as easy as people think. Sometimes they think, you know, it's just one chapter, but now you have to edit it so tightly. You have to really choose, what is that one story? What is that one thing that I want my audience to walk away with? So it creates an incredible vision of clarity for you. because essentially that chapter now stands for your brand and stands for who you are and stands for your message. So yeah, it's about a 4-month process. You start with, you know, just the general idea and kind of throwing everything up on the page, and in the process then you go through the first editing round, and then you meet other authors. You, like in my case, we did this whole powwow in LA where I got to meet other girls, and it was a lot of fun, obviously, and you get to hear their stories. Then hearing their stories makes you almost rethink your story. So you go away and go on another round of edits, and you know, you hear and admire all these women, and you start thinking, how can I make mine better, you know? And so it's really, really great experience, because again, you learn so much in the process.
That's so great. And it sounds like it opens up a lot of opportunities for you.
Yes, absolutely. That's why I tell people all the time, don't be shy, do it, because one, it allows you to express your feelings and emotions and really almost relieve certain experiences again, but with a different vision and perspective of the outsider. Right now you become the observer of your own story, but the fact that the credibility, the marketing opportunities, like I used my book personally to get a lot of speaking opportunities, so which was great, because now people see something, they can see a glimpse of who you are before you come speak. So yeah, it's definitely an amazing door opener. Not a great way to say it, but it is.
Awesome. And I love the creative aspect of it. It's like a creative catharsis and transformation almost.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it makes you think so much deeper into things that have maybe occurred to you, but you never processed, or maybe never analyzed and never really fully learned the lessons from that. And when you start writing them down on a page, and it becomes so vivid, and obviously you want to make it emotion and involve other people to live through that with you, it makes you almost go to the next level with that experience as well.
So cool. Very cool. Awesome. I'd love to talk about, I'd like to circle back to your work that you're doing with women.
The idea behind that backbone of success was, I am a big believer that women run business very differently. We are nurturing, we are emotional, so we look at things differently, which is great because we bring a whole set of different tools and strategies to the table than men do. And that's the reality of the situation. It's not about comparing. It's truly about understanding that both men and women bring very valuable facts and strategies to the table. They just come from different sides of things. And, you know, being nurturing and loving and caring sometimes is to a detriment with women in business, because they take that second position in life often because they're so nurturing and they want everybody else to succeed first. They want to serve everybody else. They want to help everybody else. So they sort of step back from that position. And it's absolutely not true. You can be nurturing and loving and still be successful and still have a family and still have kids and still be a mom and a wife and all the other aspects of being a woman that you enjoy so much. So whenever I, you know, work with women, I remind them that that's a whole idea behind that backbone. There are, you know, some factors that obviously go into play, right? It's creating your vision and understanding that that vision needs to play into your lifestyle. For instance, if you want to spend time with your kids, taking a job that requires 80% travel and is probably not your thing, or building a career around that. So I call it the GPS method, meaning you look at the final result, you look at the lifestyle you want to live and what brings you joy. So for me, for instance, I knew I couldn't be in the office. I love traveling and I love people. So essentially build my career around those three factors. For someone else, they may love paperwork and being in the office and having the stable environment. I talk about that all the time. I said entrepreneurship is not for everyone, but I want you to be intrapreneur still as a woman within your company, meaning you should be able to sort of be the CEO of your own position. You should be willing to delegate your things and call the shots in certain situations and not doubt yourself and not have insecurities that, you know, that maybe there are other people in this environment and maybe they're not approving. Because I think as women, we often start doubting ourselves, right? We'll do something that's brilliant and awesome and we're excited. And then we hear this micro judgments or no, you know, somebody making comments. And instead of looking outward as saying, what is that, you know, they're bringing to the table, we automatically turn inwards and we start judging ourselves and our insecurities come up. So that's one of the things that I definitely ask, and encourage women to pay attention to. And if I were to give advice based on, what I preach and teach and walk, my goal obviously is to live the lifestyle that I teach these women. One is getting a mentor. A lot of women are not good about having mentors in their lives. And I don't necessarily care if it's a man or a woman, but I can tell you, mentors will save you a lot of mistakes. They'll also bring a lot of value. If the right mentor will help you go further in life, in your career, in your relationships a lot faster. And you should absolutely have mentors in different areas of your lives. So you shouldn't have one mentor for relationships and business and finance. They should be all different people.
Yeah.
And never have a mentor that you're not willing to trade your life with. So unless you want to grow up and be like them, you shouldn't you shouldn't use them as a mentor for sure.
Wow. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And I would say one thing I really focus on is finance, because I think women are either not educated about money or play too small with money and avoid dealing with it almost. So I definitely encourage that you at least learn about it and you find the tool that works for you. For somebody, it might be reading a book or finding a podcast that you like, or going finding a woman financial advisor, and talking to her. I mean, whatever it is for you. But I think women a lot of times underprice themselves in business because they have that really strange relationship with money where they sort of, have aversion to it or avoid it. And you have to step through that, because honestly, if you run any type of business and it's not making you money, it's a hobby. And hobbies make you spend money. Business makes you money. Yeah. So if you are in the position, and it's never too early or too late to start. So if you're just in the position where you are maybe not too comfortable, figure out what steps you need to take and get more comfortable. I mean, I can tell you, no woman ever out there who priced herself at a certain point immediately felt great. Very few. Mm-hmm. Most of us do have that knot in our stomach and kind of go like, ooh, really, can I get that price? Yep. But once you step into that and own that, it's an absolutely incredible experience. And so take those steps. Take the step where you're just a little bit uncomfortable and try it out and see what happens.
Yeah, it builds self-confidence.
100%.
So you're very empowered as a woman, a woman entrepreneur. And, I'm wondering, was this always how you felt about yourself, or did you have a transformation of some sort?
Yeah, no, not the case. I definitely didn't feel empowered. I mean, I did experience a lot of really cool things early on, like I said, because of my mother, but I also experienced a lot of not so great things. So I definitely had my own set of challenges to go through. I mean, we'll start from basic, right? I have an accent. So being a speaker, I've heard a lot of no's in my life of how could you possibly speak? And I can tell you right now, you can do anything, right? So you just speak. And that's essentially, I just went on stages and I spoke, and I practiced a lot with, my hairbrush, pretending like it's a microphone. I mean, nobody is perfect. I recently heard a quote that definitely resonated with me, where someone said that master is just somebody who was once a beginner and kept on beginning. Wow. And it's so true, because nobody is perfect from day one. I did not speak this way and did not feel this comfortable with the audience and the microphone and doing podcasts or interviews from day one. I went through a lot of awkward, uncomfortable interviews and a lot of silly, funny, all kinds of ridiculous speaking engagements before I got good. But it's the only way. That's why I'm such a believer in I start first, because you see so many people focus on success, but I think starting is just as important as success, because unless you start, unless you get into that tiniest uncomfortable step, whether it's doing that first speaking for free, make it that phone call to that investor, going through a bad sales call, hiring that first bad employee. I mean, whatever it is that you're struggling with, you need to go in that area and start practicing, like literally getting into action mode, because especially as women, I think we are such fans of perfection. And that's what I brought up earlier, the perfection paralysis, that we spend so much time preparing, and we need to spend way more time to do things. And essentially the only difference between me and anyone listening is I just went through a lot more failures in my life, and I was willing to go there, you know, from moving here with $450. My first apartment was furnished out of Goodwill. Like I said, I've done a lot of speaking engagements for free because I needed to, you know, establish my reputation and credibility, to having all kinds of mistakes in my company where I lost money and made money and lost money again. It's just being willing to get into those uncomfortable actions. So I really am a big fan that you need to do a lot of things bad before you get good. And that's pretty much how my whole life has been. You know, I've had bad speaking engagements, so I got better and I got really good at it. I had bad coaching calls, so I understood what it takes to be a good coach. You know, I've had some bad relationships, so I could find better ones and really start paying attention to people. But, you know, I want to share like one story. I had the most horrifying, and everybody thinks it's like super unrelated, and I think it's super related to business.
Go for it.
I had a really bad delivery with my daughter. So my daughter was supposed to be born on a Sunday actually, and she wasn't born till Thursday. So I essentially had a 5-day delivery where at first they sent me home, then they kept bringing me back, then they stopped sending me home because nothing was happening. And obviously I was exhausted and I didn't care. And I was, you know, doing experimental drugs at that point and signing waivers. And when she was born, my doctor said something to me that is a 1000% to me the best analogy for women owning a business. She said, look at all this mess, and then the biggest masterpiece was born. And it's so true, because when you build when you build a business as a woman, or anybody really, but women especially if they had kids will understand this, because you know you're not there in the hospital delivering for 9 hours worrying about how pretty you look. At this point it's survival mode, if you look at it.
Woo, man, think about going into your own business, people. No, but it's also the best. I mean, it's the best, right?
Absolutely, yes, because I mean the benefits and the joy and the love that you get out of it and the passion that you see. I mean, yeah, all of that, you know, and that's why, you know, when people build businesses and they share their success stories, they talk about, I mean, think of anyone who's successful, whether it's Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, when you hear their stories years later, right? They talk about struggles, but they talk about them very lovingly, because they already erased all those bad associations with struggles. They remember them, but now they sort of became a part of the journey. So it's exactly how it works, because once you step forward and you take that leap and it all is paying off, you start experiencing the joy and the excitement and the passion, everything everybody talks about when they talk about building a business.
So great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time and your expertise. And can you, you've got a gift to offer the viewers, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. So if they go to my website, which is under my name, olenkacullinan.com/sparkle, there is a gift for you, and it's a free ebook. Basically everything what you brought up, the backbone of success, everything is in that book. And it's literally the blueprint to everything I teach. So I'm uber excited to share it with all of you guys. And I think you'll find a lot of value, because it literally is that blueprint. So if you're willing to just follow those steps, I promise you, you will see the results that I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Alexa. Thank you for having me.
So thank you so much for joining today. Please tune in tomorrow. We've got more entrepreneurs, fabulous human beings, creatives, business owners who are giving away more tips and secrets to success, making a massive impact, and making money with their ventures. So look forward to seeing you tomorrow.